I want to talk a little bit in this video about imagination. Why is imagination so important? Well, if you're an entrepreneur like me or you're in business, obviously imagination is important because it helps you to stand out from the crowd a little bit. If everybody's doing the same thing, but you've come up with an innovative product or you have an innovative way of marketing yourself, or you just think outside the box, obviously people are going to notice you if everybody else is doing things exactly the same way. Imagination is also important because we manifest with our imagination. You might have heard of the law of attraction. The law of attraction states that our thoughts are these energetic things that go out into the universe and attract back things of a similar quality. So, whatever we focus on, whatever we imagine, we can manifest in our lives. Now, if you've ever read about or studied the law of attraction, you probably have heard we have to imagine it and really get into the feeling of what it would be like to have that thing. Now, if you don't have a good imagination, then you're missing out because we have this ability to basically order up whatever it is we want from the universe. But again, it requires that we use our imagination. Imagination is also important in problem solving. If you've ever had a challenge in your life, some difficult situation you're trying to work through, obviously it would help to have a good imagination, to brainstorm solutions, to come up with options, again, to think outside the box and find a different way of handling something. So I could probably sit here all day and come up with all kinds of reasons why imagination is important, but I think you get the idea. So, imagination is crucial, I think, to our functioning, to being as successful as we're capable of being. But most of us have lost touch with our imaginations. Now, that wasn't always the case. When you were a kid, you were probably in touch with your imagination a lot. Now, when we're born only with our subconscious mind. That's the part of the mind that contains within it our imagination. We don't have our logical mind until we're 2 or 3 years old. That's when it begins to develop, but it takes until 8 or 9 to fully develop. So for the first 8 or 9 years of our lives, we're coming from imagination a lot of the time. Do you remember what that was like? I remember playing teacher to my teddy bears. I would sit them in chairs and teach them. They were the most well educated teddy bears in the world, I'm sure. I would also arrange dances for my teddy bears. I was constantly dressing up. I would make mud pies out in the yard. So when we're kids, we're really immersed in the world of imagination. But then we start to lose it, don't we? We go to school and we're taught that we got to get our heads out of the cloud, get your feet on the ground, quit playing with that imaginary friend. That person's not real anyway. And we're taught subjects like math and science and the rules of the language you're learning, which isn't a bad thing. But what happens in school is we begin to develop our conscious mind, our logical mind, and we start losing touch with our imagination. The subjects in school, like the arts, music, dance, theater, are not considered mandatory subjects, they're electives. And when the budget gets cut, which are the first subjects that are let go? Obviously, the ones that involve developing our imagination. Also, when you think about it, we entertain ourselves in ways now that don't require us to use any imagination at all. When I was a kid, it was before there was internet. I think we had 2 channels on the TV. When I got home from school, we were often told to just go outside and play. If I told that to my kid when he was little, he'd be like, "I don't even know what to do." But we figured it out. We didn't have all these things to entertain ourselves with that we have now. There was no TikTok, no YouTube, no internet. We had to come up with games and find ways to entertain ourselves. Now we don't have to do that. If we feel bored, instead of looking in our imagination for something we can do to entertain ourselves, we just go online. There's a million things out there to entertain us, so we don't actually have to do it. Now, as a bit of an aside, I also think that we are being discouraged from using our imaginations. The world is a pretty dysfunctional place right now. And if people were imaginative and innovative, they would probably take some steps to make some drastic changes. So I think we're kind of dumbed down. I think all these options that we have for entertainment, all of these go tos that we have, are intentional. I think it's a way to keep us from really tapping into our own ability and making things happen in the world and changing this dysfunctional system that we're in. But that's just my opinion. Now, the point I'm making is we lose touch with our imagination. And when we do, it means we're less innovative. We're less able to problem solve. We're less able to manifest the lives we desire. We're less able to contribute to the world that we really want. This is why I want to invite you to attend my 12-week course on developing a relationship with your subconscious mind. This course is going to meet for a couple hours a week. And during that time, I'm going to give you tools and teach you exercises and train you to be able to tap into your own subconscious mind, meaning being able to use your imagination, being able to speak to your subconscious, being able to use your subconscious to manifest, and so many other things that your subconscious is capable of doing for you. If you're interested in finding out more, click the link below or reach out to me. I would love to talk to you about the program. It starts soon, though, August 2nd, so don't waste time. Let's get in touch. Let's talk about this program. And let's really, all of us, take control of our own imagination, the circumstances we're creating in our lives, and what kind of a world we're living in. Thanks so much for taking time to watch.